This is Our View, brought to you by the members of the Washington Federation of State Employees, the people who work for you. After years of minimal pay raises that never really made up for years of pay cuts, the Coalition of Labor gathered in Olympia to send a message. Raises are needed by our state workers. It should also be noted that public service workers have fallen so far behind the rest of the workforce, it's becoming difficult to recruit and keep qualified and experienced staff.
What I want the public to understand is that we just want to be paid enough that we can keep up with the cost of living, and that we don't fall behind. We don't want our pay to fall so far behind that good people are not attracted to working with us anymore.
Public service means something to me. I know it does to you too. So does my union, and so does my community. But I'm angry. And I'm tired of the artificial raises that are eaten up by retirement increases and healthcare costs. I'm sick of always fighting to protect our healthcare.
Because as a single mom, I'm facing the uphill battle of not being able to afford everything that my daughter deserves. And so it's really important for me that state employees get low quality pay and equal pay and a competitive pay so that we can afford to provide for our families.
It's so appropriate to be having this rally to raise awareness around the need for public service and for qualified state employees. We know that in this century alone, an additional 1 million residents of Washington State need public services right now, right?
The state worker turnover is getting worse and worse every year. We see people come out and leave as soon as they can. We train them and they leave for better paying jobs in the private sector. We have 600 members leaving every month, and that is going to continue to grow until the state and this legislature and governor realize that we matter and we make a difference.
I'm here to express my worry about recruitment and retention for employees. Our pay has not been increased over the years so much that the private sector is paying a lot more for the same work as the state workers doing. And we need the public to know that the state workers need more money if we're going to have quality state employees.
You know, it's also an appropriate time to thank you for the work that you do. All of your work strengthens our communities, strengthens our economy, whether you're a union rep or whether you work in one of the agencies, you know, whether you work with developmentally disabled people, child care, whether you're in community corrections, fighting forest fires, right, clean water, whether you do interpretation services, whether you work in the parks, right, whether you educate our children, and all the other public services that we need and that we benefit from.
The hemorrhaging that's going on for state employees, especially those who have the most experience, is going unprecedented. Overtime is unprecedented. The system can't hold like it is. We are underfunded. We have a revenue problem. And right now it seems like all we get is party politics. But I'm standing up for all the people that work in my facility and across the state.
We have to also recognize that fewer and fewer workers are taking up the challenge of providing public service. And it's not a surprise. Your wages fall way behind, right? The public sector in all categories, right? Constant attacks on health care benefits, constant attacks on pensions, right? So it's harder and harder. But you show us the value of public service, because all through the cuts, you've worked even harder. You've produced, right? You make us proud to be in Washington State.
We have an attack on the American middle class, and the biggest target is unions. If you take your unions away, you have no one to fight for you.
We are not 10% behind. We are not 50% behind. We are 99% behind. That is disgusting.
I mean, we have a lot of great people at Everett Community College, and I'm afraid that we're, one by one, they're starting to go other places. So that's the main reason I'm here.
But because of the factors that have always made state employment valuable, health care for the family, pension benefits, so on and so forth, as they've come under attack, we're losing 600 state employees every single month. That's a shame. That's a crime. That shouldn't happen.
We make this state work. We make it safe. We stand up for veterans, the disabled, the mentally ill, children at risk, and adults at risk. We safeguard health and safety in our workplaces. We make our state parks family friendly. All we ask is for pay that recognizes our work.
Because without the work of our services, how can we assist anybody else? So if they don't have our expertise, then that's on the line, and without having a raise, we're going to be looking for other work.
So we as state employees need to be able to take care of ourselves and our families so that we can take care of the people of Washington.
Our state's community college system is also being hurt by depressed wages as staff there finds other jobs. That was the message when many staff members gathered in Olympia to warn about the future of an education system that so many depend on.
We keep the lights working, the classrooms clean, we're fixing the plumbing, we're there when students are enrolling and signing up for classes to get their, the higher degrees so they can get out into the workforce and continue to contribute like the rest of us. It's how we make colleges happen and how we keep the community working.
I think what the public needs to see and hear and realize is how much work state employees do, how much we do in the community college system, and where we compare with other public and private sector employees as far as salary. I mean, my particular position or my class of positions, we're 63.5% behind in the state's own salary schedule.
Since 2009, enrollment has dropped by 8%, but staff has been cut by 19%, almost 4,000 people. So it's no way to attract students when community colleges educate about 59% of the higher education in the students in the state.
At Shoreline Community College for the last 2 years, among the classified staff, we've had a 13% or 12.9% turnover rate among the classified staff. I, as the chief shop steward, have to do new employee orientations at the rate of 2 to 3 a month.
I mean, we're constantly hiring and training, and we know that's an added cost. So the significantly lagging wages in higher education, particularly among the skilled trades, we're turning state government into a training ground for the private sector.
We've lost state employees. Every employee that's working now is doing more than they used to do. And we haven't been compensated, but 2 pay raises actually. 3% a year ago, 1% this year. First pay raises we've had in 7 years.
Well, as I see it, as an employee of the community college system, and also as a member of the community college bargaining team, what I see is the loss of qualified people because the state is not competitive and with their wages for the quality people that are already on staff. We're losing members every day. And how that's going to affect the community colleges, I think what's going to happen is you'll have a loss of qualified people to maintain your buildings, qualified people to help your students, because there's being more offered to them outside of the state system. And until the state becomes competitive, they're going to continue to lose qualified people.
In many parts of Washington, community college employees are being priced out of public service. They can't afford to work and live in the same area.
The state legislature needs to close some of the tax loopholes. I understand that there's no income, how the economy is getting better, but however, it's not going to get well enough to pay your employees. But if they close some of the loopholes in the legislature, then they can do that.
We are losing people faster than we can replace them. We have had the situation where we have done searches for replacements for classified staff, and we've had failed searches because we couldn't offer them enough money to take the job.
The management team needs to go to their boss at OFM, who works directly for the governor, and put a little pressure on him and tell him, we're talking to these people and they make sense.
The state is rapidly becoming, as the economy improves, a training ground. So we hire these people, and if we can get them to apply with the economy improving the way it is, they stay long enough to get their certifications and training, and then they move on. It's a common issue, not only in community colleges. I know DOT is having the same issue.
The state community colleges have experienced a drop in enrollment of 8%, but they've had a level of staff drop of 16% or more. We can't function like this.
It seems to be becoming more and more of a dead-end type of job, especially when housing prices keep going up, cost of living keeps going up, and the state's failing to keep up with us.
For me, a lot of this just boils down to respect. Respect our skills. This begins with competitive salaries to recruit and retain highly qualified staff. We are masters of our crafts. We've worked hard at learning to do what we do.
And what it is, you have people that are dedicated to their job, which is to help students, to help them get an education. That's what makes this country better. And we have educated leaders. And a lot of our members on our and AFSCME know to understand that. And what they want to do is they want to continue to help these students. They're dedicated to their jobs.
We care about our state. We care about the future we're leaving for our children. We care about all this, all while we watch administrative salaries go up. We watch our wages stay stagnant, our workloads increase, our talented colleagues leave for better jobs in the private sector. Yeah, respect begins with compensation.
This has been Our View, the television voice of the Washington Federation of State Employees. We remind you, when you accept a paycheck for your hard work, you don't give up your rights. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next month.
I've been a zookeeper for 20 years.
My job title is mental health technician.
I'm a correctional officer sergeant for a male facility.
I'm an office support supervisor.
I am a custodian with the University of Iowa.
I'm an administrative assistant,
a school bus driver for Atlanta Public Schools.
We actually sing songs on our bus, and the kids go home every night and they write a story.
I like helping the little people more than those at the top, but they all generally have the same questions. They're all worried about the same thing. What's going to happen? What can I do? Who can I talk to?
When I go out there and I take care of that intersection, I know that my mom is driving on there, my sisters are driving on those streets.
If I wasn't there to do the work that I do, I think that the patient would suffer. It's very rewarding for someone to say, well, thank you, Dennis, for helping me when I needed it most.
There are times where I get overwhelmed, or there seems like there's a huge impossible problem that I have no idea how I'm going to fix. First thing I do is I reach out to my union brothers and sisters.
When we fight to break down those barriers, keeping us from negotiating our work or caring for our families, we are fighting for all Americans.
We are ready at any time to go fight the fight, whether it's for the public, whether it's for our rights. There is no rest. Justice never sleeps.
Keep pushing. Don't give up, because sooner or later, it's going to be rewarding.
The clouds are lifting. The future is ours for the taking. And our plan is real simple. Never quit. To anyone who questions our dignity or insults our work, we say we'll never quit on ourselves, on each other, on our union, on our communities.
I am AFSCME.
I'm AFSCME.
I'm AFSCME,
and I never quit.
We're AFSCME,
and we never quit.
AFSCME never quits.